Okay, cool. We're kicking it off. Awesome. Todd, that was so much fun, man. Thank you for joining us on our group coaching call. That was awesome as always.
It is truly one of the highlights. I guess we do it twice a month. So it's one of the highlights twice a month that we have because it's an opportunity to engage with members of our community, share wins, and really share strategies to grow business, which I think is so important in this market right now.
I love it. It's totally a highlight. I tell my team all the time, I love it when we do our Win by Noon group coaching calls. It's fantastic. Welcome, everybody. If you're just joining us for the Masterclass, we were just talking about the Modern Mortgage Summit that Todd Bookspan put on last Thursday. Hopefully some of you were able to join. Todd had about 4,000 loan officers that were registered for that class. We're going to give you some of the golden nuggets today. So while you're joining us, if you will put into chat obviously you already have your name, but the city and state that you live in and the company that you work for, then we can call out some folks and say hello. So go ahead and put that in chat, and then we'll get going in just a second. So Todd, what was your biggest takeaway from last Thursday?
Wow, my biggest takeaway, I think the biggest takeaway is that the people who are doing the business are optimistic about the business, right? They're not doom and gloom. And, there were some people up on stage who said to the crowd, you know what, I'm not making any money right now, but I don't care. I love this business and I'm excited for the opportunity, and I'm going to continue to share and learn and do the things that matter to make sure that I can impact all of you. And then I think that would probably be one piece of it. And the other we talked about briefly before was really their story. They're all really good storytellers. Yeah. And the story that they tell helps people connect. And I think that from a loan officer perspective, I would be looking at how am I presenting myself to a borrower? How am I presenting myself to a potential referral partner? And can I be better at telling my story so that they're like, wow, you know what? I really like Brandon. I really want to do business with Brandon because of who he is and how transparently he's willing to share that.
It makes a huge difference. And we're going to talk a lot about how do you create those relationships, how do you add value to others, and the storytelling is a major important point. And, one of the things that you guys as loan officers, and hello, let's see, we got Matt out there, PacRes Mortgage in Reno. He's got Jimmy with out there in Delafield, Wisconsin. Cool. Thomas with Hanover, Maryland. It looks like we've got some others joining us too. Thanks, guys, for joining in. And part of this is about the story that you're telling, right? As you're growing your mortgage business, what is the story that you're taking to the marketplace? And what we're going to get into today, let me share my screen so we can get this kicked off, is how to win more realtor referrals, right? That's what this is all about. And storytelling plays a major role in this. So let's get into this right away, Todd, because we've only got an hour with everybody, and we're going to pour into you guys over the course of this conversation that we're going to have. First of all, you saw HOA.com, and some of you probably thought, oh man, HOAs. Number one, how did you get that domain? That's a story for another day, but also some people think HOAs, I don't love my HOA. Well, we agree. We believe there's a better way to HOA. There's 370,000 homeowner associations in the US. 53% of all homeowners live in an HOA. So we're on a mission, just so you know, kind of quick commercial, to connect communities. And we're building the #1 referral network for professionals who serve who serve homeowners. So we're going to teach you how to win more realtor referrals. And what Todd has done is brought together mortgage lenders that have closed over $100 million last year. Todd, there were some guys that had closed hundreds of millions of dollars on your summit last Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, the impact that they had in the lives that they've touched by being, students of our industry, were super impactful. But yeah, no doubt when you've got people on stage who did 200, 300, $400 million over the past few years, it's super impressive. And that's why we were so grateful that they were willing to speak for us.
It's awesome. And we're going to talk about realtor referrals. We're going to talk about raving referrals, but really this course is designed to help you get realtors who are excited to do business with you, who are excited to have a conversation and to meet with you. And also we're going to show you a way that you can be promoted as the #1 top trusted mortgage expert in your local market. We're going to talk about hyper local social farming. You probably haven't heard that term before. We're going to talk about it today, but we've got a freebie for you, a free gift for being here, for taking time to work on your business. And that is our referral partner blueprint. Okay. It's a document that's got scripts and tips and strategies and a list of who you should be building your business with. So if you go to hoa.com/event-check-in, and Spencer, if you'll drop that into chat, then you can download that free referral partner blueprint as our gift to you. It's just something that after the fact, you'll be able to take some of these strategies and really put them in practice in your business. And that's the key, is to take action. Okay. So we're going to talk a lot about that as we go through this. But who are we? Well, you probably know Todd. You may not know me. I'm the CEO of hoa.com. I was in the mortgage industry for 12 years. I started out in 1997. I was a single dad. I had just gotten custody of my son. I was making $20,000 a year, working as a marketing director for a law firm, and I changed and got into the mortgage business. And in 18 months, because somebody taught me the art and the science of how to generate raving referrals, I was able to take my income and 10x it from $20,000 a year to $200,000 a year. And since then, I've closed over $500 million in transactions by referral, written the book, Raving Referrals, as you see. And I've been building tech since 2009. I was in the business, the mortgage business, from 97 to 09. And when I left the business, I said, you know what? I want to help as many people as possible take these referral best practices and help design the lives that they want to live. So my last platform was called Refer.com. We built that to 5 million members around the world, including 250,000 realtors. So this is my 9th platform, online platform technology that I've built over my career, and excited to be able to help all of you serve more homeowners and win more business. Todd?
You know, I just love that 250,000 realtors, 5 million people. That just blows me away every time I hear those statistics. And of course, although Brandon thinks you all know me, most of you don't. That's okay. I'm Todd Bookspan, the founder of Win by Noon, 20 plus years in the mortgage industry. And although I don't originate anymore, I still have a team that my wife and business partner lead. And we've closed over $1 billion in production. I'm super proud of that because it's been by referral. I mean, that's been our way that we've grown our business. And the event we put on last week is really where I'm involved in the mortgage coach community with my good friend, Dave Savage. And, you know, we put together that group over there now called the Trust Engine Productivity Mastermind Group a little over 6 years ago. And it's been a lot of fun for me, and a lot of what I teach and will share with you today is really as a result of, you know, interviewing over 500 real estate agents, or probably over 500 real estate agents, probably over 800 loan officers over the past decade plus, and just really love to be able to distill that information down and make it actionable for you. And then the last point on there is the Modern Mortgage Summit, which is super relevant because I know some of the faces here I recognize because you were participants either live or virtually for that event. And it's really been the biggest attended mortgage event since 2020. Now this is our 4th year, and it's been a blast.
Oh, it was awesome. I was so grateful to be there, Todd. And, you know, I love that you talked about the fact that the people that were in the room were excited about the industry. And we haven't shared this for a while, but I brought this back, Todd, because I thought it was really applicable. You want to share the story about Buffalo?
Well, absolutely, because the buffalo were the people on the stage, right? And so, you know, an animal, right? They've got that sixth sense that we don't have about what's going on in the world. And, you know, because they've got 4 hooves on the ground and they feel it. And so when there's a storm coming, the buffalo and the cow both feel the storm coming. They know it's coming. They can sense where it's coming from. And what happens is that, you know, the storm could be coming, you know, across this direction, and the cow sits there, and the cow actually runs away from the storm. And so what happens is the storm's moving fast to them. It comes over their head, and they get stuck in the storm for longer because they're running with it. They're running in the rain. Versus the buffalo, those were the people on stage last week. And I think most of you, hopefully all of you, the buffalo, when they sense the storm, they actually choose to charge into the storm. They take the storm head on. And then by running into the storm, they actually run through the storm and they get out of the storm faster. And so what they're doing is they are building long-term business versus focusing on short-term strategies and success. That's my new twist on it. Brandon, what do you think?
I love it. I think that's totally well said. And guys, there is good news here, right? Like I recognize the last few months in the mortgage industry has been tough, right? It reminded me of back in 07, 08. But the good news is I was recently at the National Association of Realtors convention in Orlando, Florida. They said there's over 5 million real estate transactions projected to close in 2023. And you guys are very well paid. I don't need to tell you this, but we looked at the information, the data, the science, and according to the New York Times, on average, nationwide, you guys earn $4,350 per loan close. Now, for some of you, it's higher than that. For others, it's less than that, but that's the national average. And that means even if you're just closing 4 deals a month consistently, and we're going to talk a lot about consistency and predictability, but that's over $200,000 a year in income. So like Todd said earlier, it is a fantastic business to be in. And even though the storm is here and sometimes it's kind of scary for some, if you're doing the right things, you're going to get the right results. So that's what we're going to teach you about today. And it starts with referral partnerships. And so I'm going to launch a poll here, Todd. Do you want to share about referral partnerships and what a difference that's made for you?
Well, I mean, it made $1 billion difference for us, right? And ultimately, we all know it's hard to do business alone. It's easier and a lot more fun to do it with others. And the referral partnership piece, I think, is where a lot of the loan officers are struggling now. And so it's interesting to see every time we launch this poll, how many of you are at zero still, which don't be embarrassed. If you are, you're not going to be alone. And then we've got those folks that are, really crushing it with 10 plus relationships. And we all know it, right? The more strong relationships we have, the easier it is to grow our business. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the results.
Well, let me show you. And we consider this, guys, an active referral partnership is somebody that sends you at least one deal every 90 days. So let me show you the results real quick so that you can see this. About half of you are in the 3 to 5 referral partner status. We've got about 20%, which 80-20 rule makes sense, 10 plus. Those are the people that are crushing it. Typically, on average, what we see is they make over $250,000 a year, and almost 10% at the zero. So regardless of where you are, our goal for you is that during this conversation, this masterclass, we're going to give you some insight, some ideas, some scripts and strategies that you're going to be able to take and put into practice today to start winning more referral partnerships and winning more referrals. And here's something that's really fascinating, which is how valuable referral partnerships, and specifically we're going to talk about realtors, are to your business. And if you look here on screen, if you just have one realtor partner that's sending you one deal a quarter, that's $17,000 to your business. Okay. That's a nice little extra income. And so the question is, how do you make that 5 or 10 or 20? How do you build those referral partnerships where they're loyal and they're consistent and they're predictable? And so that's what we're going to be teaching you on this conversation. Todd, anything you want to add here?
Well, I love that word predictable, right? We recently in our coaching, we had Lance Billingsley, who's just a local legend here in the Phoenix market for training realtors. And that was the question he loves to ask realtors is, how predictable is your business? And I think anytime you can ask it to a realtor, you could probably ask it to all of us, all of you. And if we can create this predictability, like you show here with more referral partners, that's what we all want.
That's the key. So the question is, how are you creating those referral partnerships? And Todd Booksman and I were just at Todd Duncan's Sales Mastery Conference, and he shared a study he did where 98% of mortgage loan officers said they're not highly confident in their business plan. So if that's you, then we want you to put these 5 strategies into place for your business. Now, I'm showing you all 5 right now, and you might be thinking, oh, I know how to do this. Come with an open mind and come with inquisition, right? Seek to understand and learn some new strategies, because even if you think you know it, that means your mind is closed and you're not bringing new information in. I'm telling you, we're going to teach you some things that are going to open your eyes, and you're going to see things through a new perspective, which is hyperlocal social farming. So let's get right into it. When it comes to realtors, as we've surveyed realtors nationwide, their number one need, and you can go ahead and put this in chat. I want to see in chat real quick, what do you think a realtor's number one need is? If we surveyed 100 realtors, what do you think would be number one if this was Family Feud style? Go ahead and put that in chat and let's see what you say. Okay,
Family style. Love that.
yeah, go ahead, Todd. You want to narrate this one?
Oh, I was just saying Family Feud style. I mean, that was I just was coming on that. But I think, ultimately we had a quiet group today. Come on, guys, give us oh, there we go, more deals, right? I mean, that's that's ultimately it, right, Brandon? They want more referrals, correct?
That's it. I see get paid, referrals, more deals, active communication. I think that's a good one, Matt, but it's really more clients. Their challenge is often the same time that your challenge is. So if you can come to them with a strategy to help them win more clients, then you're going to win more clients and more realtor referrals. So how are you meeting new real estate agents right now? Right? Are you doing cold calls? Todd, you did over 100 cold calls in a day to realtors 3 times in December, didn't you?
I did. And, a funny thing happened as a result, right? Our team, which, averages over $100 million a year, was struggling, right? The last quarter of last year, like many of you, was down about 50%. We were about 5 million a month, which, is good. But when you think of a team, it's not good. And lo and behold, 300 plus realtor calls, over 160 conversations, quality conversations, realtors. And then lo and behold, February, back on track, 10 million, right? It's not rocket science. It's the activities that you take will get the results that you want. And that's what I spent that day doing. And I did it on Zoom with people listening and watching.
Yeah, and I love that you do that because you're all about empowering people to succeed. Like you are an example of the action that you need to take, and it's action that you need to take. So some of you may be going to industry events. You might be going to broker opens or open houses. And there were some people at the Modern Mortgage Summit that had some great strategies around that, Todd, which I thought was fantastic. And then networking groups. One of the things that we teach is for you to start your own business alliance. Why you might be going to a BNI group, we actually have a system to help you start your own so that you're the leader, you hold the microphone, you fill the event, and actually you get realtors and other professionals to bring their trusted relationships into the room. But we're going to talk about givers gain because this is so important. What is the difference that you're making both to realtors and other pros? How are you standing out from the competition and really making a difference in their lives? And, this is one of the things that was really hit home at that Modern Mortgage Summit. One of the things that we're doing at HOA.com is we've created what we call a home safe report. Now, this is similar to a home bot. So let me just play this little video. This example comes from Stacy Dowling, a monthly email with the value of the home. But here, importantly, and I think this is what's really different and unique, is, whoops, at least it was, if I stop at the right spot, there we go here, is that it's not only about you, the loan officer, you're also promoting your trusted team, your financial advisors, your real estate agents, right? And all of the folks who are serving that specific homeowner or neighborhood. And the beauty is, as you're promoting yourself, you're also promoting your trusted team and they're promoting you. Todd, have you seen any other co-marketing engine like this where pros are promoting each other in the platform?
Not at all. And I think that that's really where the power is, right? The power is not just activating your network with your real estate agent, but think about activating your network with your CPA, a financial advisor, the landscaper, the person who cleans your pool. They all know people that are thinking about buying, selling, investing, or refinancing homes. They just don't know a system for referring it. They don't have the referral blueprint that we just gave you as a gift.
Yeah, the referral blueprint. And then also, like you say, the system to serve those homeowners. One of the other things that we do here at HOA.com, and guys, these are just ideas. Like you're going to get a chance to apply to be one of our mortgage experts at the end of this conversation, if that resonates with you. But regardless, take these strategies and put them into practice. You might use HomeBot. That's another system. HomeBot's fantastic to stay top of mind with the homeowners that you serve. it just doesn't have that co-marketing component where you're all cross-marketing. One of the other ways that we recommend that you wow your clients and your referral partners is with a concierge service. Now, this is what we're doing at HOA.com, where it's co-branded with our mortgage expert. And you have a service to help people when they're moving, because when they're moving into a new neighborhood, they don't know anybody, right? So once you help them close their loan, how do you help them after the close? How do you help them transition into that new neighborhood? What we do at HOA.com is we give you a concierge service that you can give as part of your service to them. And we'll take care of everything. They'll have a dedicated concierge that will help them from the time you write the loan application and they pick a house and have it under contract to the time they move in. We'll handle everything from changing their address, setting up their utilities, their cable, their internet, getting insurance quotes, landscaping, just like you said, solar quotes, moving, everything they need as they're going through that move. And what the key is, again, whether you use our system or not, it's create a wow experience. And Todd, I heard that a lot at the Modern Mortgage Summit last week.
Yeah, absolutely. And my favorite part of it is we're all trying in that first minute or two of the client call when they're asking you what's your rate, what's your rate, what's your rate. You're trying to figure out, how do I differentiate myself from the call center that they just called? How do I differentiate myself from the person that they was sitting at the bank that was really busy and really didn't give them 2 minutes, but wanted to give them, didn't give them the time of day. And I just love the idea of building in a script. Awesome. Hey, one of the things that we do differently is we really try to eliminate that stress as you're getting closer to your move. And we offer a free concierge service that will help you with all of your utility turn-ons, just to give you a few less things that you have to do in order to make sure that the ease of moving is that much better. And so just think about all these different opportunities to make yourself unique. And then when you're looking for something to share with a real estate partner, to say, hey, have you ever thought about offering this service to your clients? And then the first thing that they're thinking about is, well, no, because I can't afford it. And then it's something that's included as part of HOA.com.
Todd, I was just looking at my notes from the Modern Mortgage Summit. Kelly Zitlow, an EVP for Cornerstone, said, create an unforgettable client experience, engineer everything. And that's what I think this concierge system does. Again, whether you're using our tools or you find other tools, create an unforgettable client experience. You'll wow the clients and you'll wow your realtors as well. And when you do that, you'll elevate your status, you'll stand above the competition, and you'll make a difference where they want to refer business to you because you're unlike other people. And that's really what you want to do, is stand out. One of the other strategies that you want to be utilizing is help your realtors create their own referral partnerships. In that poll, on average, people had 3 to 5 referral partnerships. And the reality is most realtors give a ton of referrals and they don't get many back. In my previous platform, we had created a partnership with Prudential Real Estate, and they had given us their database of all 55,000 agents around the world, and they had promoted us out to their agents. And we participated in their national sales event for 3 years in a row. And at that event, we'd have all these agents come by our booth, and I'd always ask them, when it comes to referrals, what's your number one challenge? And they say, we give a ton of referrals out and we don't get many back. So look to create strong referral partnerships and help your realtors win. Todd, that's been a key to your success, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The bottom line is we all forget these other opportunities out there. Like, look at the bottom when they're property managers, right? Raise your hand if you've ever thought about prospecting a property manager. Well, guess what? When I first got in the business, that was actually one of my top referral sources, was a property manager. And I became an expert in helping their homeowners, their landlords, with their mortgage strategies. And it was a great opportunity for them because they were adding value. And it was a great opportunity for me because I was getting loans.
Todd, do you want to tell your story about the real estate property manager or investor that you had worked with in your first year in the business?
Well, yeah, one of his investors had over 20 properties. And so I actually did about 24 refinances for him, which is pretty good when you think about it. In your first full year of doing business, a lot of people don't do even 20 loans. And I had one client who I did just over 20 loans for. And I'll tell you, my processor didn't love it because every time she changed one thing in one file, she had to go change it in 20 some odd other files. But guess what? It was a great opportunity. And guess what? A great financial win for me. And it's an area where most people just don't think about going out and getting business. And that property manager, ironically, is still, doesn't own the property management company, but he's still a good friend of mine. We're going to the Suns game on Thursday.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And so that was a referral that came from a property manager. And guys, think about how valuable a property manager is to a realtor. So the more referral partnerships you help your realtors build, the better off you'll be. We teach a concept called business alliance, and creating your own business alliance. You heard me talk about this earlier. This is like having your own BNI group. What we do is we actually give you an alliance agenda. So you have a script you can follow so that you just invite people to your office, your realtor's office, title company, financial advisor, or to a restaurant. And then once a month, you gather your people together and you say, I'm bringing together the people that I'm building my business with, right? And as you bring in your realtor and you activate their network, really the key is you're activating your own network and you're helping them activate their network. What if you had 10 realtors that you helped them activate their network and they each had 10 home service professionals? And you were the exclusive mortgage lender for that community. That's 110 people referring business. And the key is partner with the people who are all serving homeowners every day. The more you do that, the more value you add, where you're the trusted mortgage lender, the more raving referrals you're going to get, both from the realtor and also all of the other professionals who are serving homeowners every day. Todd, anything you want to add there?
Well, you said activate their network, right? So think about, you're going after their network. So go back to my property manager example. Where was he getting his referrals from? He was getting his referrals from real estate agents. And so therefore he was able to help me by referring not just clients, but he activated his network for me so I could provide value to those realtors. He would make that introduction to me as well. And then I would find other realtors then to activate and refer to him. And so it's this whole idea of the giver's gain that we're talking about. And then I love the whole idea of the business alliance. I think a lot of you are like, turn off your brain right there. You're like, that sounds like a lot of work. But the thing that HOA.com does is they literally give you the script, right? They actually give you what it is to say at each business alliance meeting. It's just the total easy button.
It's so easy. I was at one yesterday. We had one of our local mortgage experts and he held a group and he had about 20 people in the room at his mortgage office. And there were all kinds of different people, solar, insurance, credit repair, all kinds of different industries that he had brought together. And he's there holding court, right? People are coming into his office and learning about his services. And he said he's getting deals from it already. This is only his second one he's done, but he literally had printed off what we had given him, the monthly agenda, and it's easy. You can literally read it and we give you, it's more of a mastermind than a stand up and give your commercial. People introduce themselves, but then it's a series of questions about the teaching point so that people connect, communicate, collaborate, and you get to meet each other on a whole different level. So really, really powerful. It actually goes into our third strategy, which is to elevate your authority. And that's part of what the business alliances do. When you're holding the microphone, whether it be on a webinar, whether it be in a business alliance, a Facebook Live, when you're holding the microphone and you're teaching and training people and educating them and using stories to do that, like the story I just told of Julian, right? It makes a huge difference, doesn't it, Todd?
You know, it really does. I love that 3 C's, right? Connect, communicate, collaborate. And, you know, when he had 20 people in a room, guess what? That elevated his authority. And, you know, he didn't have to go rent out a restaurant. He didn't have to figure out who's going to pay for lunch and do all of that. He just brings them in and then takes the easy button and runs with it. And so the bottom line always is how can you elevate your authority, or who can help you elevate your authority? And that's what we want to encourage you to do.
Yeah, and when you're activating other people's networks, I mean, one of the things I took away from your Modern Mortgage Summit last week, Todd, is you had the #1 top producing realtor in the nation, Jason Mitchell, who had done 7,300 transactions last year. Still hard for me to wrap my mind around that, but 85% of those came from referral partners, tapping into and helping activate the network of the people around you. Guys, you're not the only one that doesn't have a lot of referral partnerships. Most people don't know how to do this. This is what we're the best in the world at, is helping you create strong referral partnerships that lead to referrals. And you should be teaching and training. Sometimes you can just use like the Modern Mortgage Summit. We've got people that were just on our group coaching call, and they're literally going to take Todd's videos from his online event that had 4,000 loan officers, and they're going to take one segment, play them in their office, but in front of a room full of realtors. I think that's a brilliant concept. Todd, it makes it super easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's this whole idea of how can you add value and how can you look like the source for the information. And again, it's a whole idea of how do you not overthink it, right? And how do you make it valuable? How do you have that conversation? And I'd play the Jason Mitchell video, right? It's something to learn from the #1 real estate agent in America the last few years. And then have a discussion around it. Again, it's not having to reinvent the wheel and create your own content. It's really thinking about what's the easy button for me to do it. That'll not just add value to everybody else, but will also have them turn to me the next time they want to have that information. Now I want them to view me as that expert authority.
Yeah, and one of the things that Dave Savage talked about last week was that 63% of American homeowners have a mortgage that starts with a 2 or a 3, meaning it's under 4%, right? So the vast majority of people are going to be first-time home buyers this year. There's going to be people moving, investment properties, all of that. And we think teaching advanced investment strategies, helping people get into Airbnb. He talked about house hacking, but you got to stand out and tell a different story. Elevate your authority. I know we've got somebody on here that does a lot of podcasts. And Todd, you've done a lot of podcast interviews with top producing realtors, haven't you?
Well, yeah, because not only do you want to elevate your authority, it's also elevate their authority. And so I was able to get the #1 individual real estate agent in our market, right? Maricopa County, Phoenix, Arizona. I'd never met her. I had never heard of her, which is weird because she's truly #1, right? Sold more last year than anyone else. And guess where she showed up? Right there in the studio where you got a picture of you and I together. And I was able to build that relationship with her, and then now have the opportunity to go in and share and teach. She's going to elevate my authority with the rest of the people in her brokerage.
Oh, it's such a powerful concept. I was talking to Jimmy Ryan in Vegas the other day, and that's what he's doing to elevate his authority. But promote your credentials. If you've got awards, certificates, right, accomplishments, put that in your office so that people that are high blueprint or high knowledge personality style, they see that. One of the things that Todd and I are doing is we're publishing our Raving Referrals for Mortgage Pros book on October 10th of this year. And we want to celebrate success stories. So if you've got a great story about partnerships and what's led to referrals, or maybe a great referral story, we'd love to hear from you and potentially incorporate you into the book. But maybe you want to create your own book. It doesn't have to be a 300-page book like this, but it could be a little booklet. But publishing a book elevates your authority. So think about how can you stand out from the crowd. And then #4, and this is one of my favorites, is localizing your marketing. Todd, I know you love this quote by Margaret Wheatley.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, right? Is the whole idea there's no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. And I think, I love that second to last word, what it cares about. And, when you can find a real estate agent who's super passionate about their hyper local community, right? Where they live or where they're farming. And then you can come alongside of them to help them get their message out and connect more. I mean, that's just where the magic happens.
It is. This concept of hyper local social farming is so important. We had one of our mortgage lenders on Sunday did a community barbecue here in Chandler, Arizona, where I live. And it was so cool, guys, because they just invited all the different homeowners to come out, bring your own food, right, your own meat, and throw it on the grill. And then what happened was there was a ton of games, right? We're talking kids playing basketball. They were playing cornhole. There was a dodgeball game that was awesome. I pulled a hammy. That's just my own self getting old. But what was so cool is I was looking around and there were about 50 people there, neighbors from this community. And the mortgage lender was able to be the host, right? Getting to know all of them. Those 50 people, there wasn't one person that was on a cell phone. They were all talking, they were laughing, they were playing, they were having fun, and they were connecting in their community. So that's the power of hyper-local social farming. Now, what we're doing here at HOA.com is we're creating online community pages for every neighborhood in America. So what I'm going to show you here, this is an example of Santan Ranch. And so this is just one of the community pages that we're creating. What we're doing is we're selecting one loan officer, like you see with Matt Baker here, and then they nominate their realtor as the community connector. You can also nominate and invite other home service pros. And so essentially you're connecting with this community together, right, as a trusted team. And it's a big SEO play because people are looking for carpet cleaners near me every single day, right? So we've hired the SEO manager from OfferPad, who is our digital marketing director. Spencer is on with us now. And then we've built in home search. And so we have 93% of all of the online home listings in America. And again, people are searching for these communities. So this is one of the ways that we're implementing hyper-local social farming. Now, in addition to the community, you'll also have your own expert profile. And so this one here is for your partner, Todd, Matt Baker. And do you want to share about how this works?
Well, I mean, I'll say this. I've used the word easy button. I guess that's 2 words a little bit ago. But, part of when I did the 100 calls, I had a couple of different missions, but one of them was really to practice the scripts for our HOA.com members to figure out, how do we activate realtors. And, I committed to make 100 calls, and my goal was to talk to 50 people and have quality conversations. And I thought, well, I'll offer all 50 of them to help Matt get 10 referral relationships. And I had to change my strategy real quick because I batted 1,000. Everyone who I talked to about this strategy said yes. And so it was a pretty enlightening day because I already knew we had, something crazy, but really we got the tiger by the tail. And the other thing I would say on that is oftentimes people are like, well, yeah, but everyone already has a loan officer they work with. One of the people that I was able to partner up with, Matt, is a leader in our community, has ownership in some big name franchises in the real estate world. His best friend is his lender, and Matt and he are partnering on a community together. That's his favorite community where he lives. You call it the wedge strategy, Brandon. So we basically put a wedge in there where now he's going to work with Matt to develop relationships to be the community connector in that community. And all of those leads will come to Matt and our team, which I just love.
Yeah, and it's cool because you're offering something unique, right? And again, it's all about connecting that community, activating the referral networks of your realtors and then other professionals, and you're that central connector. Realtors love this program. They're excited because you start with a give. And Todd, thank you for saying that because you literally were batting 1,000. Every realtor you talked to about nominating them as the community connector said yes. Is that right?
Well, that's it. And everyone's always worried, what am I going to say when I call a realtor? So I was like, okay, I got to come up with a new script now because I can't offer it to anymore. And, the crazy part is that, Matt was making calls as well because I encouraged him, hey, why don't you make some calls too? And in his calls and the people that he connected with, he got 4 loan applications that day by making the realtor calls. And think about that. When's the last day you got 4 loan applications? And this was in December. It wasn't like rates dropped. It wasn't like the market was picking up. It was actually just connecting with agents and being somebody of value for them, and they chose to work with Matt.
It's fantastic. And, part of what we do is we bring the charity to the community. So we recommend that you be a charity champion. 93% of consumers say they want to know what companies are doing to make the world a better place. 89% of corporate execs say companies that lead with purpose have a competitive advantage in today's marketplace. So be a charity champion. My wife and I are both part of Big Brothers Big Sisters. I'm an ambassador, and we're doing an event for Big Brothers Big Sisters next week. I literally on Monday took my little brother to a spring training baseball game. It's fun, but tell the story of the impact that you're making. We do these community impact events where we'll bring out a bounce house just to connect the community. What are you doing to make a difference in your local community so that you elevate your perceived value that you're bringing to your realtors and to everybody else? We also do done for you community social impact campaigns. And so literally it is copy and paste. whether it's a best dressed home contest or we've been booed, the great egg hunt, or our veteran salute. We are a veteran owned company. We're very patriotic and grateful to those who have served. Right now, we're doing a March Madness contest. I think Spencer put it into the chat, and literally we're giving away a trip for two to Cancun, right? And so just a way that you can copy, paste, and post, and we're integrating them into our community pages and into our home safe report. So it's basically done for you, community impact, which is super cool. So those are the 5 strategies that we want to teach. And we're going to share kind of how our mortgage expert program works and see if it's a fit for you. But Todd, anything you want to do to kind of wrap this section up?
Well, I'm just still stuck on the fact that I might win a trip to Cancun when my Wildcats win the NCAA championships. But I really do think some people think, oh, I'll be a charity champion. But again, you kind of said it. I mean, people care about what they care about, and they also care about what you care about, because it says a lot about who you are. And so don't dismiss the 5th point because of whatever situation you're in, because it doesn't always take money, it's time, right? Brandon said, hey, I spent time taking my little brother to a game. And so these are things that, you don't have to have a big checkbook to be part of, but you can actually, squeeze in a couple of hours to be a big impact.
Yeah, quite frankly, I'm going to challenge every one of you to be a big brother or big sister. It doesn't take a lot of time. I spend probably 6 hours a month. They're always giving us tickets. So quite frankly, I got these tickets at a Big Brothers event. So spring training baseball tickets. They just offered us Phoenix Suns basketball tickets. Like, it's super fun. It only takes a couple of hours a month, and you can make a difference just by mentoring. So, whether it's Big Brothers or whatever charity you're passionate about, integrate it into your story. We talked about story. Share with people the difference that you're making. And when they know how much you care, they'll care how much you know. All right. Cool. Well, we have 3 different programs in the mortgage side, and you can apply to be one of our mortgage experts at hoa.com/LO. We've already been approved with a number of different mortgage lending companies, including all those that you see at the top of the list. We're going through finalizing the process with Fairway and Cross Country and some others. And if you're chosen as a mortgage expert, the first benefit is that you're going to claim communities, claim neighborhoods where you will be exclusively promoted as the mortgage expert in that local neighborhood. Okay. So you will be able to be retargeted and remarketed. And more importantly, you'll be able to nominate realtors as community connectors. Helps if I don't go too fast, to help them win more referrals, and you'll win more referrals at the same time. We say, don't be a lone ranger or a lone wolf and try and build your business by yourself. Create your team of the people that you know, like, and trust, and that you love hanging out with. And then, just like Todd said, sometimes you don't know what to say. So we give you the scripts. We help you, we train you, we teach you exactly what to say. And Todd, I love that you're in the lab and actually doing the work, and then bringing the best practices for everybody to win by noon faster and easier than ever before.
Well, it's one of the things I got most excited about, when I became part of HOA.com and the family, and had my team pay to become a member. And it's given me a reason to jump back in and build referral relationships for the team. And, my group coaching group, just yesterday, I challenged them all to call at least 50 real estate agents between now and next week. So of course, what did I do? I said, I'll call 50 more. So I've got 5 hours carved out over the next 4 days that I'm working to make sure that I'm making these calls. And so it's just a great opportunity for me to practice in the lab, as you say, and then bring that back and share, right? Here was the objection I got. Here's how I overcame it. Here was the next objection I got. Here's how I overcame that one. Here's how I turned the corner and how I was able to put that wedge in there and then get the meeting. And then also really how I'm choosing to pick people. I mean, there's lots of real estate agents out there, and I want to make sure that I pick the right partners as well. And those are all things that I just love sharing with our group.
Yeah, and we teach you how to do it. And by the way, we not only have done with you, we also have a done for you option. Some of you may be just crushing it already in the mortgage space, and you're like, I'm too busy, I don't have the time. We'll actually call top producing realtors that are closing at least 10 deals a year, and we will pre-sell them on being the community connector with the understanding that they've got to meet with you as the mortgage expert. So we're scheduling appointments with top producing realtors. So if you're crushing it already, that may be an option for you. If you're, already doing great in the business, but you just want more time, we're happy to make those calls and introduce you to top producing agents that have already said, yes, they're interested. And you are the key to them getting into the program. So there's a lot more that we provide. We give you the raving referrals training. We have a whole online video course teaching you about how to maximize your referrals. We do biz growth coaching once a week, which is general. And then twice a month, Todd and I do a win by noon with raving referrals coaching specifically and exclusively for the mortgage industry. And if you're accepted, you get access to all of that. So you're going to love it. You get the homeowner concierge service we talked about, the business alliances, the impact campaigns, and the events. So all of that is part of your membership. And membership starts, just so you know, guys, you can literally be on this program for less than $1,000 a year. So it's very affordable. We have financing options. If you need a monthly breakdown, we can help you get approved with a third-party financer as well. So it's super affordable and the ROI is tremendous. So go to hoa.com/LO and complete that loan application. It's just a few fields. We're going to take a look at your production and then see what level of your experience level, so that we make sure we get you in the right program. Todd, anything you want to add there?
Well, I was just putting a smile on my face thinking back to last week and, had that mastermind and we had most of the speakers in there, and the fact that as they were meeting you and hearing me talk about HOA.com, that we're going to be doing a masterclass like this just for them. I mean, in all my 20 plus years, I truly haven't had a system, a conversation that I can have with people that's been easier and to have them want to meet with me and do business with our team.
And that's the key, right? What's the easy button? And so I know we've shown you a lot of different things. We do make it easy because we do most of the work for you. We basically give you these pre-packaged program scripts and just make it easy for you to do what you need to do, because your job is biz dev, right? Your job, if you're not taking a loan application, the rest of your time is building relationships. And so to win more realtor referrals, you need more tools to stand out from the competition. So how we're going to be attracting homeowners, just so you understand kind of the timeline on our national rollout. What we're doing is at the end of Q2, we will be activating every single community in America. Right now, if you come on board, you're going to be able to claim those before it goes launched and live for everybody to see. But we're going to be providing those home safe reports to every homeowner. That's our vision and plan, is that every homeowner in America has a home safe report and gets an email with their monthly valuation update and a list of the professionals that serve that community. We'll have lifetime client campaigns, done for you campaigns that you can send out to your client base to stay top of mind and add value. Tell them what's going on in the local community with email and direct mail campaigns you'll have access to. And then the Safe Kids Now. I literally was just meeting with one of the founders of the Neighborhood Watch program back in the 80s. And they've created a Safe Kids Now campaign. I was meeting with Stephanie Mann in Vegas on Saturday, and it was awesome because she created this program back in the 80s. They were able to activate the local community and reduced crime by 48%. They wrote a book about it, and Nancy Reagan took that book and created the Neighborhood Watch program nationwide. So what we're going to do is make neighborhoods safe again and give kids a safe zone and a safe house that they can turn to if they're getting bullied or, God forbid, something worse, right? So they know where to turn to. Deals and discounts, referral rewards and rebates, all kinds of options to engage the homeowners so that you are being shown to them remarketing, retargeting those homeowners on an ongoing basis. So I'm going to play this quick testimony. I love this from Matt Baker. This will tell a story about our done for you referral partnership too. Take a listen.
This is Matt Baker, and I just wanted to say a quick message about HOA.com and the power of using that tool with regards to realtors. It's been super easy, a great, easy conversation to kind of bring into the, hey, let's work together aspect. I'm actually here on vacation in Cabo for the holidays, and HOA.com and upgrading to Elite Expert has allowed me to go to vacation, and they are processing all of the onboarding. They're doing all the training, making it really easy to partner with realtors. So if you haven't checked out HOA.com, do it right now. Thanks. Have a great day. Enjoy your holidays.
Todd, where was that when I was in the mortgage business, man? I wish I had somebody scheduling appointments with me with top producing agents.
It's great that he had not just the HOA.com team, but me as well. But it was great that I was, like I say, that I was in the lab with it. And I think that's, ultimately those who are in a financial position. I mean, there's no easier way to do it. I know that we're doing that for other members, including Stacy, who you're going to play the video about, but there's just nothing in my mind that speaks easy button louder than having somebody else set appointments for me with qualified prospects.
Yeah, I'm going to skip Stacy's video just out of time, but you can read it on screen. Basically, what she said is we helped her build referral partnerships with 19 realtors and home service pros. We were just together in Vegas at Todd's event, and I was hearing her tell the story to one of the other attendees, actually to Wally Ellerberry, and she was telling Wally that we had scheduled 10 appointments with realtors just that previous week. And so, that's what we love to do. We love hearing that success. That's what it's all about. Daniel Herrera, here's another one. He used the program to cold call realtors. And just like you, Todd, they're excited and said yes. And he got 2 leads from one realtor just the first few days of signing up. So those are the kind of results that we want you guys to have. The way that the approval process works is you go to HOA.com/LO, you'll complete your application, and then you'll choose the program that fits best for you. We'll research your production, schedule an expert interview with you, and then if you're approved, we'll promote you as that exclusive mortgage pro in the local HOA communities that you claim. And then you'll be able to sponsor realtors and other referral partners as community connectors into the program. So go to HOA.com/LO and complete that application. And then Todd, we're also going to give them the win by noon system. I love that piece.
Well, of course, that's near and dear to my heart because I know that that is a system that is helping thousands of loan officers and real estate agents be more productive every day. And I think when you're more productive, that leads to more business and less stress, which are 2 things that I think are super important and I'm really passionate about.
I use mine every single day. I mean, literally, we're just starting the day and I've already got all the people that I'm following up with and reaching out to. And it's just such a great way when you focus on the most important tasks that you need to accomplish every single day and you track your actions, you track your productivity. What you're going to see is your productivity is going to rise and you're going to be able to win by noon because you got the most important things done by 12 o'clock each day. So super excited about that. And again, we do 2 group coaching calls. It's the first and third Wednesday of each month, and you'll get access to that coaching and training as well. So what happens next is once you apply at HOA.com/LO, you're going to schedule your expert interview. You're going to select a program. We'll schedule a one-on-one onboarding session with you. We've got a whole getting started, a loan officer success center that has all of the information that you need, but we make it easy. There is a 30-day quick start process that we take you through. We'll email you that once you're approved, and you'll literally have a script of how you call realtors and other pros to start activating networks and winning more referrals. You'll claim your desired communities, sponsor those top referral partners, and then we're going to mail you the Win by Noon planner. And we also send you the Raving Referrals book so that you've got a program that you can follow. And we give you books for you and also for your referral partners, because once they understand the power of co-marketing, of partnering with you and doing business with you and how you're different than everybody else out there, it elevates your credibility in their eyes. So that is how that works. If you're an elite expert, that's our highest level, we're going to write a blog article and press release for you. We're going to do and produce a full video interview about you and how you're selected as our elite expert. That'll go on your profile page. And then we'll also be introducing scheduling appointments with you and top producing agents. Todd, anything you want to add here?
Well, I mean, again, that's a pretty big list, right? And, I always joke it scratches the surface because I feel like there's just so much opportunity when someone jumps in. And I think the biggest key is what it says at the top. What happens next, right? We got a rollout plan. We've got a success formula to help people get launched. I know we've all bought into products before, and then we got kind of stuck because there really wasn't great leadership. There wasn't great system and a roadmap in place. And that's really one of the things that I'm proud about, Brandon, that you and the team have created. And then what we're doing with the twice a month coaching, I think all of it just brings it all together and makes it so that it's manageable, executable, and ultimately is going to result in long-term business for you.
I love it, Todd. You were saying at the beginning, that's one of the highlights. For me, I tell my team, I love doing our group coaching calls. It's one of the most satisfying and rewarding because I know we're making a difference. I get the success stories of people that are getting, 2 deals, 4 deals that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise. We're teaching people how to do role playing on a 2-1 buy down with their realtors so they know how to educate their agents and win the deals that their realtors are able to get that otherwise they wouldn't get. So there's so much power in what we're doing, and it's a long-term game. So the key to success, in our opinion, is hyper local social farming. Partner with realtors and other professionals who are serving homeowners every day. Co-market them, add value in every way you can. Again, whether you choose to be part of HOA.com and one of our mortgage experts or not, find a way to add value every day in every way. And the more impact you create, the more income you're going to see in your business. So we're going to open it up for questions. Todd and I will stick around. I know we're getting close to the top of the hour. You can call or text with questions at 623-253-5700. We've got people that are happy to have a one-on-one conversation and get all your questions answered. But we'll go ahead and put that in chat, and we'll stick around and see what kind of questions we have and who we can help and answer your questions.
I see a great one here, Brandon from K. Is there a specific time for meetings that works better and you see more attendees, day and time or place?
Todd, well, I'm going to defer that one to you because you're in the business full time. So what have you found to be most effective?
I found what's best is what's best for me, right? So place is what's going to be convenient for me. Place is what's going to be convenient for my realtor partner, and especially if we're looking to build in a community. So my office is in Phoenix, but if I was going to be working with someone that was 20 miles away, ideally it would be my office, but that's not going to make sense for this type of meeting. I'm going to figure out what's in their community. Maybe it's going to be their office. Maybe it's going to be one of the other local pros that we're going to bring into our network, that they have an office, and we're going to, might just be a Starbucks. It could just be, a bagel shop that's got, a small group of tables in the back. And so I'm going to look for something that's going to be local there. And then I'm going to pick a time that works for my partner and me first, that we think we're going to draw people in. Certainly think about what it is. The folks up in Denver who did a happy hour, guess what? That's probably a 4 or 5 o'clock thing if you're going to do a breakfast meeting. But I think the right time is going to be what your group believes is the best time. But I'm always going to start with what's best for me and my partner first, and then encourage other people to figure out how to work their time into our time.
Yeah, and I agree with that, Todd. So yesterday, we as HOA.com, we had events happening here in Denver, like you mentioned. So in Phoenix, it was a business alliance meeting where it's a morning meeting. People are coming together at 8:30 to 10 a.m. and really had that conversation about building their businesses together. And then last night up in Denver, Colorado, we had a group, and just as you said, it's cocktails and connections. They went to a local tavern and they just met, but it gave the loan officer a way to invite people to come hang out, right? And you want to constantly be inviting people out to events. If you're going to an industry event, invite a wingman or wingwoman, right? Invite somebody, whether it's your realtor, financial advisor, insurance agent. There's a great book by Keith Ferrazzi that's called Never Eat Alone. And I like to say, never network alone. Never go to an event by yourself. Are you
It's an
at?
orange book. It's right up here. I think it's one of
Oh,
these.
okay. Yeah.
It's a great book. I love that whole idea. And it's, part of it too is think about that, what he talks about in his book. And it's also in the 7 levels of communication, which now I'm drawing a blank at his name, which is bad because I've interviewed him, but they talk about having that place where you can go in your neighborhood. So think about that. Is there a cool little neighborhood breakfast spot in the community that you are hyper social local farming? Like in our neighborhood, we've got a place called the Hudson that my daughter loves. Best burger there is, but I love it because I met with an investor there. And when I walked in, they put up my club soda with lime on the counter for me. My daughter walks and they put up her drink. So she feels like we're celebrities there, but it's also like, hey, Todd, oh, don't worry, Todd, you order at the counter there. Don't worry, Todd, you just go have a seat and I'll come out and take your order. They treat me like royalty, made me look good to the other people. I had that expert authority that Brandon talks about.
Linda said it's Michael Mayer who wrote that book.
Michael Mayer, thank you, Linda. Yes, he was awesome. That's a great book, and you just think about how you can stack those meetings before and after too, right? Think about, you have your business alliance meeting at 9. Why not meet, the landscaper at 8:30? Might not be the best time. He's probably out doing lawns at that time, but if he's the owner of the landscaping company, he could be there and then have that one-on-one and connect. And then when it's over at 9:45 or 10, then schedule that meeting with the CPA or whoever it is. So you just have this great opportunity.
I was meeting with a pro and interviewing them for one of these Raving Referrals books, and he was talking about the fact that he had won, basically doing what you're saying to do, right? He'd gone to the same diner, and that was his place that he ate at all the time. And he ended up having the mayor as a client, the fire chief as a client, the police chief as a client, and he was involved in the Rotary and basically embedded himself in the community to the point where everybody knew him. We didn't tell the story of the mayor of Murray Hill, but
I was going to say, what about the mayor of Murray Hill? You took the words out of my mouth.
So I used to live in Beaverton, Oregon before moving down to Phoenix. And in my area in Beaverton, I lived in this area called Murray Hill. And there was about 20 different local communities, pretty high end. And there was this realtor named Brian Belair's, and he farmed that area so intensely that 2 out of every 3 for sale signs in those 20 or so communities around Murray Hill said for sale, Brian Belair's. It was a pink sign, a purple sign. I can see it in my mind's eye right now. But he was famous, and we used to call him the mayor of Murray Hill, because that guy owned it. He hyper localized his social farming. He managed to build relationships so deeply in that community that everybody felt like they'd be foolish if they didn't at least talk to Brian before they listed their home. And that's what we want for you. So be the mayor of Murray Hill or whatever your local area is, and help your realtors do the same. If you've got a realtor that's farming a community, you want to be the trusted mortgage expert that they're sending all their deal flow to, right, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's the bottom line. And we know that he or she who owns the community, right, has that expert authority. And, one of those other things that, we love to talk about is, there's been multiple studies, right? Recently, Tom Ferry noted one where, they surveyed a community, and they asked them, who's the expert, the neighborhood expert, and there was no clear winner. And then they did a postcard campaign of a fake real estate agent, and they went back then after the postcard campaign, and then more people selected the fake realtor as the neighborhood expert than anyone else. And I think that's kind of embarrassing. And so one of the things I know is that we, together with the folks that we partner with in HOA.com, have the opportunity to help them be the expert authority so they don't get beat out by some imposter.
Yeah, and I think it's really important you talk about the exclusivity too, because once you lock up a community, that means your competition can't. And there's going to be people that are on this call that don't take action, that 2 years, 5 years from now, they're going to wish they would. They're going to be telling people, man, I had a chance to have those communities and I didn't. It's kind of like getting into a BNI group. A lot of times that's a tough group to get into in the mortgage space, because it's once a lender is in there, everybody else is locked out. So I think that's super important. And we're excited about what we're building because we know it's going to make a difference. So again, take action, take the ideas that we're giving you here today and implement them into your business. Todd, one of the things that we were just sharing, was the power of the 1003, right? And really getting deep in the communities, like Jeremy Forcier was talking about, getting into the schools and actually connecting with the local schools that are part of that community. I thought that was a really powerful point.
Yeah, it was really interesting, the fact that he said that since he's decided to ask better questions and be more curious and figure out how to help those that are coming to him for loans, he's gotten 17 more applications just this year from folks that were in process with him. And I just love this school story where he asked the person, hey, where do your kids go to school, right? So not just, oh, how many kids do you have and what are their ages, right? Or do you have any dependents, I guess is the official word from back in my loan officer days. He went further and said, oh, awesome, where do your kids go to school? And then they named the school, and he's like, oh, awesome, who's the principal there? And what do you think about her or him? And then he got their information, was able to actually call the school and then talk to the principal and say, oh, awesome, I loved hearing that this is why the families whose kids go here love you. And I would love the opportunity to come in and help educate your teachers and staff on the benefits of home ownership. And he's got a meeting in a week or two to go into a school and teach. I mean, that is just huge.
It's huge. It's massive. And it's really about connecting with the community, right? How deeply can you get entrenched where everybody knows you, right? Where you're the mayor of Murray Hill, where you're Norm at your local deli or bar. Hopefully it's a deli, but whatever, no judgment.
Hey, we got another great question, Brandon, from Kay. It says, if you're approved to do loans in 2 states, can you do communities in both states? Absolutely. I think that's actually one of the areas where I think we'll see people who are part of HOA.com grow, because again, it's difficult sometimes, not as much so with Zoom these days, to get somebody in the next state or 2 states away to want to do business with you. But when you're bringing them an opportunity that no one else is bringing them, it actually becomes super easy, super fast.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to look at your licensing, make sure that you're licensed in those communities. And if you're looking for more than one state, we're going to have a conversation just to make sure we know that you can serve those people well. We're having conversations right now with somebody that wants to license an entire state, and they've got to have the coverage with their team. So that's something that we're definitely open to. And we have others that are approved in multiple states, as long as we know that you're really involved in making a difference. So, here in Phoenix, we've got people that are snowbirds, right? Where they're traveling to Oregon or Washington or Colorado in the summertime, and then they spend their winters here. So definitely something that we can approve. And some of you are like on a border state, right? Where you live in one city that's across the river from another. Absolutely something that we support.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting too. And, like in the Phoenix area, there's actually a number of people in HOA.com, and people always say, well, aren't you worried about it? Number one is, we've never run into any conflict in the realtors that we've called, all 80,000 of them. And there's almost 8,000 HOA communities, let alone all the non-HOA communities that are here. And so, for me, I always say it's kind of like when someone says, well, are you worried that someone's going to have all the communities you want? I think it's kind of like when a client calls you and asks you what's your rate, right? It's the wrong question to ask. There's so much opportunity out there. And, worst case is the community is the one next door that you go after instead. It's not necessarily it's the what, it's the who. And there is such an opportunity, but Brandon did say it right. When you get to lock in a community for you, you get to lock out the competition.
Yeah, and you just mentioned Nextdoor, and I don't think you were talking about the app, but people always ask me, what is this like? And I say kind of what we're building is like a Nextdoor meets Angie's List, except it's not just online. It's actually happening IRL, right? In the real world, or whatever, however they do, whatever that is. I can't keep up with all the texting vernacular, but in the real world. And that's what's so cool. When you go to an event and you see kids playing kickball, or yard pong, which I didn't even know was a deal, but out there just playing, having fun, building real relationships, and you're that ambassador for the community, helping bring people together, and you become famous because everybody knows you, likes you, trusts you, and recommends you to everyone they know, which is the key. So cool. I see a question here, Todd. If you haven't done a podcast previously, do you help us with that? That's something that we kind of teach and train on. So anything you want to add there?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Because, we have that slide in there talking about, what I do there in that space. And, obviously, Brandon, something we should maybe put on the to-do list. We haven't really gone into detail into what it takes to do it because it's not as difficult as people would think. And so we'll just make sure we put that on our coaching list in the future. Let's just make sure that we do that in our Win by Noon with Raving Referrals coaching. I think it's a great ask and something that actually I'm happy to commit to doing.
All right. I love it. Yeah. And we've got some great people that are in the space. I know, Todd, you've been doing podcasts for a long time, and I think we can absolutely create the blueprint and a training module for that. So great question, Kay. Thank you for asking that. One of the questions that we get oftentimes is about the number of communities that you can license. So our most popular package is with 10 communities. We do have a 20 community option as well. If we know that you're, have the team in place and you've been doing significant volume, that's something that we can definitely talk about. And then if you are a branch manager, maybe you're leading a team and you're looking to do something more than that, we're happy to have an individual conversation with you and just make sure. For us, it's all about serving the community. We need to make sure that you're going to be there present and be able to meet the need of the community there in your local market. So hope that answers that question. Awesome. Todd, anything else? I don't see any other questions at the moment.
Well, I just love it. I just love it that we have so many of you who hang out to the end to learn more. So this would be your chance to ask a question. But I know that there are lots of opportunities out there, but I don't think there's lots of great opportunities out there. And, as I said a couple of times before, as someone who's been doing this for over 20 years, and I've tried a lot of things, I just never have found anything that's been as easy for me. And I'm seeing other people have the same success with as HOA.com. And so whether, you jump on at a lower level or the mid-level or high level, just know there's an opportunity for you, and that talking to the team, they can help you decide if it's a good fit. They can help you decide which of those levels makes the most sense. And then just know that, when you jump in, that Brandon and I and the whole team are committed to your success, because that's really what it's all about. It's how can we all as a community do more together and help others do more. And I'm just super excited for you all to be here at the end. And I'm super excited, Brandon, as always, to get the opportunity to share this stage with you.
Oh, it's my honor, Todd. And again, I'm just going to say it on behalf of everybody that's either on this call or that has already bounced off. What you did last week with the Modern Mortgage Summit was so important. You had over 4,000 mortgage lenders and loan officers that were a part of that day of training. And I'm just so grateful for you and behalf of everybody that's been watching you for years on the mortgage coach productivity, which is now the trust engine productivity. Am I getting that right?
Yes, it's a mouthful.
But thank you for the difference that you're making. You have assembled and attracted so many incredible people around you. And so we're grateful for your partnership at HOA.com. And for everybody listening, we're committed to your success. I mean, that's literally, if you have a question, you email us at success@HOA.com. That is specifically for professionals who serve homeowners. We're here to support you. And we want to help you win. We want to help you win by noon, but even after noon, it's okay too, as long as you're winning. So you can apply at HOA.com/LO. You can text us at 623-253-5700. My team is happy to have a conversation. Download the Referral Partner Blueprint. Take a look at what we're helping you with. That's just a small segment of the education and the training that we provide. But beyond the training, you're going to have the technology to keep you top of mind and be remarketing, retargeting, and building strong relationships with the homeowners, and using that as a partnership tool to add value to realtors, to financial advisors, insurance agents, and everybody else who's serving homeowners every day. And I would say in closing, if not this, what? Right? Like what you're hearing is unique. I know you've never heard this story before because nobody else offers anything close to this that we've been able to assess. And we've done a complete industry analysis of the types of tools that you've got access to. So while there's a HomeBot or My Home IQ out there, which we're huge fans of those, that's one tool in the overall tool belt that you should be offering. right? At HOA.com, that's incorporated as part of your membership package with the concierge, the community promotion, the referral partner system. So we're giving you a ton because we believe that that's what's needed to help you succeed. But at the end of the day, you're the one that has to take action. We can't do it for you. We can't create the referral partnerships for you. We can make it easy and we can give you all the training and teach you exactly what to do and say. You still got to have the conversation, go out there and build relationships. But when you do, it will pay rewards for years to come. So go out there, take action, put what we shared into work, and it'll help you win by noon, won't it, Todd?
Absolutely. As always, like I said, Brandon, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you all for your attention. Your attention is valuable, and we are grateful that you shared it with us today.
Amen, brother. All right. Thanks, guys. Go make it a great day and a great year and a great life.
All right. We look forward to being part of it.
Take care, guys.